Renae Bruce-Miller here again. So today we want to talk about Narcissistic Smear Campaign. And this is about when the narcissist goes behind your back, tells lies, and misconstrues information to divide and conquer your relationships. And I want you to know that even if you don't have any friends in common, that it's very common for the narcissist to smear you with people who you don't even know. So by the time you meet these people, they already have an opinion of you. But in a little bit more pernicious than that is when the narcissist is smearing someone, they are giving themselves a platform of being right and just and good and kind and great. And in order to do that, they need to have a villain. So while they have this audience that they're saying, oh, my sister, I buy her kids diapers and she's so ungrateful. And, in that one sentence, they've just said, I am so great, I am so good. Look at what I do for my sister. And she is so ungrateful and she doesn't, and so that is being projected to an audience, to the person listening, and the person listening has formed an opinion already. Oh, you buy your sister diapers? You're so great. You're so wonderful. And so they start, the smear campaign isn't just necessarily about you. It really is a platform that the narcissist has to use in order to feel superior and to gain that kind of trust and comfort with the audience. You just happen to exist. You are just a subject matter in their whole entire circus, in that whole entire Ferris wheel or merry-go-round of events. So you're in the orbit, and they will catch and grab anything that they can in their mouth, chew it up, and spit it out, and it just so happens to be you. And what I find with narcissistic smearing is they turn anything that they can find to use that's good in you and use it against you. So if you have the habit of making your bed every morning, a narcissist will, in their smear campaign, say, I make my bed every single morning at 5 a.m. and she can't even get up and make me a cup of coffee. So you, right away, they've just said how well and good they are. They've taken a trait that belongs to you, that's identified with you, that everyone in the universe knows that you're the one who makes your bed at 5 a.m. every morning. But they have now owned that. They've owned it. They've trademarked it. It's a registered trademark. They own it, okay? And if you try to get it back, you have to stoop to some really low, childish, manipulative things in order to prove that, I'm the one who gets up at 5 a.m. to make the beds. So who can go that low? No one wants to stoop that low. No one wants to keep clawing and fighting for attention, and clawing and fighting for their rights to survive. So I want you to know that even though the smear campaign, even though things don't get back to you, they are out there. Trust and believe. If you're dealing with a malignant narcissist, someone who you recognize to have at least 5 of the 9 traits of malignant narcissism, the smear campaign exists because they are so empty inside that they need anything and everything to feed it, to just pat up their ego and pat up themselves, pat up their self-esteem, pat up their sense of self-worth. So you don't be surprised if You know, you have friends or relatives in common who treat you funny. Don't be surprised who, you know, relatives don't want you at their house. Don't be surprised if people, you know, just don't like you for no reason, without giving you any leeway, any truth, any fact. I mean, I've discovered so many lies and lies and lies over the years, and some I'm embarrassed to repeat because they were said by my own mother, that if your own mother can say that about you, then it must be true. And that's the common consensus amongst people, is your mother, you know, she can do no wrong, and she's, you know, she can do no harm. And I'm going to talk about the scapegoat and the golden child in other videos, but in this one I wanted to really, you know, just explain to you the smear campaign and the necessity of the smear campaign. I also discuss it in Victim Warfare's Narcissist Decipher. You can learn more at https://victimwarfare.com. That's Victim Warfare, WARFARE.com. And so you can get the ebook there, and it's in a variety of different stores. Barnes and Noble, Amazon has it, a variety of different platforms have the book. But what I wanted this video about was to really just, you know, analyze the smear campaign with you. You know, for the narcissist to exist, there has to be an audience. There has to be an audience. There has to be someone else, that they are, you know, conveying themselves as the noble victim. This person who is so great and so wonderful and so good, and oh, I'm being victimized. And they do it so well because at one point in their life they were victims. Someone abused them, whether it was physical abuse, domestic violence. They were abused, whether it was as a child where they couldn't articulate what was happening to them. Something happened to them, but they're served better in their own minds when people can say, "Oh, poor Johnny, this has happened to you." That part, that empathy, "Oh, poor Johnny, this has happened to you." That's their fuel. That's what they need. That's what they eat for breakfast. That keeps them going. That's, "Oh, someone has seen my pain. Oh, my wound. They've seen it. Finally, I'll get the attention I deserve." They never stop to think that it's going to come back to you. They never stop to think about it going all the way around. Their thinking process is not that evolved. So you're dealing with a child who will lie and say, "Mommy said I could have a cookie," and you know the child does not expect that you would go and say, "Did you say Johnny could have a cookie?" And oops, they're caught in a lie. That's a narcissist. A malignant narcissist cannot think that far. His brain process cannot go beyond a certain point. So you have to understand, when you hear this, when it gets back to you, of what they've done. And you know, sometimes it's huge. And you know, if it weren't for relatives in my family who said, "Your mom said this, and you know, I want your side of the story." Only one person in my entire life, in my entire family, and it's my aunt in Brooklyn. Well, Nanta Shirley, shout out. She's the only one who's ever said, "Your mom said this, tell me if this is true." And being my mother's older sister, she understood my mother's nature and pattern and behavior, and she was the only one who's ever directly confronted me and said, "I've heard this, is this true?" and given me an opportunity. So what does it mean for my entire life? For my entire life, I've had people mistreat me, ill-treat me, talk poorly of me, just, you know, shunning me and doing different things, because of the smear campaign. And you have to understand why the smear campaign also exists. Is the narcissist is not just jealous of you, they're also jealous over you. And as many people can shut their doors to you, you only have the narcissist to turn to. And for me, it's always confusing. Like, okay, so how do you tell this person that I'm this, I'm that, and a third, but I'm at your house? But that also shows that they have to exploit that level of benevolence. They have to exploit their benevolence and their goodness and their forgiving, and you know, they don't think that the truthfulness will come out at some point in time. They don't expect that there is going to be a moment of clarity. They always expect to be believed. They always expect to be you know, to be heard. And so, you know, in my intimate partner relationship with a malignant narcissist, what I found out that he was saying was a variety of things. And you know, he accused me regularly of cheating, even though he was the one who was cheating and stalking. He accused me of a variety of different things, and one of the things that he accused me of was being barren, because we were in the relationships for so long that I didn't have any children, but I willed my mind and my body to comply with my wishes. And you know, shortly after leaving that relationship, I conceived, and I created a beautiful child. So what does that say about him? You know, they don't care. They don't care. It's a part of their competitiveness. It's a part of their, you know, destroy and conquer. In my own family, my siblings and I, we have no relationship. But everyone has a relationship with her and with my mother. And it's so funny because one of my nieces said this to me one day. She said those exact words, that none of you get along, but everyone gets along with her. And I said, but you've just said it. I don't even have to give you the blueprint. You just said it. You have just explained everything. So what do we all have in common? So by the time this person calls and says, oh, you know, this and that, and I told this person so and so and so, and it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so for me, the best way out of my situation is to just completely avoid the entire nest of vipers, is to just completely extricate myself, because I am the chosen scapegoat. I'm not the golden child. I'm nowhere near the golden child. So I have to accept that, and accept that version of that my siblings that have been fed things year after year after year in small things, small grains, small drops, small bits, small pieces. And my sense of shame was very, very heavy, because culturally, we're not taught to speak against your mother. And so to my own detriment, because these things have been happening to me since I was a very small child, that I couldn't articulate exactly what my mother was doing, even though I could see and I knew it was her. I couldn't say anything because I didn't want to embarrass her, and I didn't want anyone to turn on me to say, well, you know, you're the problem, you know, you can't talk bad about your mother. So it took me all of these many years and, you know, sleepless nights and really rough experiences to be able to sit here with you and articulate to you these issues. You know, so that in a nutshell is the smear campaign. So understanding the smear campaign, or recognizing why the smear campaign exists, and understanding that it's not your business to go out and prove yourself right to the whole world. It's your business to be healthy and happy and have an open and healthy heart so that you can love other people and be generous to other people and be generous in your spirit and be kind and friendly and warm. That's your responsibility. Anyone who doesn't recognize or appreciate that in you, that person doesn't need to be in your boat. You don't need to go out and prove anything to the people who really know who you are. And the people who want to know who you are will ask you, just like my aunt. They will ask you if they really care about you and they're really conflicted about what they're hearing. They will ask you. And so don't try to don't try to tit for tat, go back and forth. Well, he said, she said this, that, and the third. You have no time for that. You have a beautiful life. I mean, have you looked out the window today? I'm sure there's something pretty out there to see. There's a tree, there's a bird, there's something that you have to be happy about in your life. Did you get a new iPhone? Love that. Enjoy that. I mean, enjoy your friends, call your friends, go out with people who really love you, who really, value you and really want you in their space. But I equate the narcissist to a viper just poisoning your entire life. And the further away from them you can get, the better it is for you. And I really hope that helps. I don't know who that was for, but I just really hope it helps you towards healing and towards finding the beauty that exists in this life, to finding the happiness that there is and the warmth and the love that we all have for you. And we can't see that if you don't get out from behind the lies. So a victim no more, a survivor you are. Please visit my website, victimwarfare.com. So I hope that helps. Be blessed.